What if I told you that one of the most iconic movie characters of the 80s was a crocodile wrestling, knife-wielding Aussie who could make you laugh, cheer, and even fall in love with the wild outback, all while wearing a rugged hat? Sounds like a film that would go down in history, right? Well, that's exactly what Crocodile Dundee, 1986 did. And today, we're taking you on a journey to explore where the legendary cast of this blockbuster hit is now. Welcome back to Celebrities Paradise. In this video, we're heading down under to revisit the unforgettable character of Mick Dundee, played by the hilarious and talented Paul Hogan. His portrayal of the Australian adventurer not only made Crocodile Dundee an instant classic, but also catapulted Hogan into international stardom. With its perfect blend of adventure, comedy, and a touch of heart, the film captured the essence of Aussie culture and brought it to the world in a way we'd never seen before. But here's the burning question. What happened to the cast after the film became a massive global phenomenon? How did these stars navigate their careers once the fame and spotlight started to fade? From Paul Hogan's rise to superstardom to Linda Kozlowski's unforgettable portrayal of Sue Charlton, the film's iconic cast has taken some fascinating and unexpected paths. Today, we'll dive into where these beloved actors are now and how their careers have evolved since that unforgettable movie. So, grab a cold drink, sit back, and get ready for a trip through time. Whether you're a die-hard Crocodile Dundee fan or someone who just loves to see where your favorite stars ended up, this video will take you on an unforgettable ride. We've got some behind-the-scenes stories, unexpected career moves, and updates on the actors you remember fondly from this classic adventure film. You won't believe what some of them have been up to. Stay with us as we walk down memory lane, revisiting the cast of Crocodile Dundee and discovering what became of their careers post-Dundee. You might be surprised by where they ended up, from Hollywood blockbusters to the quieter side of life. What did Paul Hogan do after his rise to fame? What's Linda Kozlowski been up to? And how have the other cast members found their place in the entertainment world? Before we dive deep into the cast's journeys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Celebrities Paradise. Trust us, you won't want to miss this. So, sit tight and let's get started on the journey of the unforgettable Crocodile Dundee cast, then and now. Paul Hogan as Mick Dundee. Let's kick things off with the man who brought the unforgettable Mick Dundee to life, Paul Hogan. Mick Dundee, the rugged, knife-wielding Australian adventurer, quickly became one of the most iconic characters in film history. With his trademark wit, charm, and fearless attitude, Dundee captured the hearts of audiences everywhere, making Paul Hogan an international superstar. Hogan's portrayal of the larger-than-life character was nothing short of legendary, transforming what could have been just another fish-out-of-water story into a comedy that still resonates with viewers today. One of the reasons Mick Dundee became such a beloved character was Paul Hogan's perfect comedic timing and the effortless charisma he brought to the role. The film's most famous line, "That's not a knife, that's a knife," still echoes through pop culture, often quoted and parodied across various forms of media. Hogan's performance helped elevate Crocodile Dundee to become the highest-grossing film of 1986, and his portrayal of the unpretentious Australian adventurer became the epitome of what it means to be both tough and endearing. The success of Crocodile Dundee turned Hogan into a household name, and for a while, he was everywhere, from TV commercials to film roles, captivating audiences with his charm. Following the massive success of Crocodile Dundee, Hogan returned to his iconic role in the sequels Crocodile Dundee 2, 1988, and Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, 2001. While both films were popular, they couldn't quite recapture the magic and success of the original. Despite his massive success as Mick Dundee, Hogan struggled to find similar success in Hollywood afterward. He took on a variety of film roles, including in Almost an Angel, 1990, a film he also wrote and produced, and Flipper, 1996, where he played a supporting role, but none of these projects reached the same heights as Crocodile Dundee. After the sequels, Hogan also seemed to step away from the limelight for a time. He took on fewer acting roles and focused on enjoying a quieter life, living outside the Hollywood machine. Despite his absence from mainstream cinema, Hogan's legacy as Mick Dundee remained strong. His role as the tough yet lovable Aussie adventurer still holds a special place in the hearts of fans around the world. In recent years, Paul Hogan has made a few appearances in both television and film, including some public events and interviews where he reflected on his career. While his days as a box office draw may be behind him, Hogan continues to be respected in the entertainment industry for his contributions, especially in the comedy and adventure genres. Though the media spotlight may not shine as brightly on him these days, the impact he made with Crocodile Dundee cannot be understated. He redefined the action comedy genre, and his portrayal of Mick Dundee remains a gold standard for film characters that mix humor, heart, and toughness in a truly unforgettable way. Today, while he might not be a frequent face in Hollywood, Paul Hogan's legacy is firmly entrenched in cinematic history. His contribution to pop culture remains, and every time someone repeats his iconic line or references Crocodile Dundee, it's a reminder of the mark he left. Paul Hogan may not be starring in major blockbusters anymore, but his impact as the beloved Mick Dundee is something that will always be remembered. His role in shaping adventure comedies of the 80s and 90s will continue to influence the genre for generations to come. Linda Kozlowski as Sue Charlton next. Let's shine the spotlight on the stunning Linda Kozlowski, who played Sue Charlton, the fearless reporter who finds herself swept up in the whirlwind of Mick Dundee's adventures across the Australian outback. Sue was a breath of fresh air in the 1980s cinema landscape. She was no damsel in distress. She was a strong, independent, and resourceful woman who wasn't afraid to stand her ground, even in the most challenging situations. Kozlowski's portrayal of Sue added an essential layer of depth to the film, ensuring she wasn't just a love interest, but a character with agency, intelligence, and bravery. Her performance not only complemented Paul Hogan's portrayal of Mick Dundee, but it also made Sue one of the most memorable and empowering female characters of the decade. The on-screen chemistry between Linda Kozlowski and Paul Hogan was electric, and it played a huge part in the charm of Crocodile Dundee. Their interactions were filled with both humor and heart, which turned their relationship into an adventurous love story that audiences couldn't help but root for. Sue was the perfect counterpart to Mick, balanced by her own sense of curiosity, independence, and drive. Her involvement in the story wasn't just to be swept away by the ruggedness of Dundee. She was just as much a part of the action and discovery. As much as Mick helped Sue embrace the wild and unpredictable side of the Australian outback, Sue helped Mick navigate the sophisticated, modern world. Together, they formed an iconic duo that made Crocodile Dundee a feel-good classic. Following her role as Sue Charlton, Linda Kozlowski reprised her role in both Crocodile Dundee 2, 1988, and Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, 2001, continuing her portrayal of the sharp and adventurous reporter who never shied away from danger. Outside of the Crocodile Dundee franchise, Kozlowski also found success in other film roles, such as in Backstreet Dreams, 1990, and The Reluctant Debutante, 1995. These projects allowed her to further showcase her acting range, but despite her continued efforts, none of her post-Dundee roles quite matched the fame or recognition that came with her iconic character. However, after a few years in the limelight, Linda Kozlowski decided to step away from acting and embrace a quieter, more private life. This shift away from Hollywood was a conscious decision on her part, and she transitioned into a life away from the glare of the public eye. While she no longer appeared in films as frequently, her impact on Crocodile Dundee remains undeniable. Sue Charlton remains a beloved character for many, and Kozlowski's portrayal continues to inspire admiration for its strength and depth, setting a standard for female roles in action comedy films. Kozlowski's personal life also made headlines after she married Paul Hogan, the star of Crocodile Dundee, in 1990. The couple's relationship had its fair share of media attention, though they eventually divorced in 2014. Despite this, both continue to share a lasting connection through their roles in Crocodile Dundee and the impact the film had on their careers. John Malone as Walter Riley. Another key figure who helped bring Crocodile Dundee to life was the talented John Malone, who portrayed Walter Riley, Mick Dundee's loyal and fun-loving friend. Walter was the kind of character who provided both comic relief and a sense of grounded reality in the midst of all the wild adventure. He wasn't as rugged or daring as Mick, but he played an integral part in the story as someone Mick could rely on. Walter's warm-hearted nature and humorous antics helped balance out the film's action-packed sequences, and Mellon's effortless charm made him a standout in the ensemble cast. His presence brought a unique sense of camaraderie to the film, and his friendship with Mick served as a grounding force that kept the movie's tone from becoming too intense or overwhelming. John Millon's portrayal of Walter was more than just comedic. It was endearing. Walter wasn't just a sidekick, he was a fully fleshed-out character with his own personality, quirks, and depth. He had an infectious energy that helped bring lightness to the film, and his chemistry with Paul Hogan made their dynamic unforgettable. Whether it was sharing a laugh, offering Mick advice, or simply providing a shoulder to lean on, Walter's loyalty and good-natured spirit were central to the film's overall warmth. In many ways, Mellon's character reminded audiences that even in the most chaotic adventures, friendship and humor could always be counted on to keep things in perspective. Beyond Crocodile Dundee, John Millon had an illustrious career in Australian film and television, spanning decades and showcasing his range as an actor. He appeared in both dramas and comedies, earning respect in the industry for his versatile performances. Throughout his career, Millon developed a reputation for being able to tackle a variety of roles with ease, whether playing a jovial character like Walter or a more serious and nuanced role. He worked alongside some of the most prominent names in Australian cinema and television, leaving his mark on the industry with his genuine talent and undeniable screen presence. Unfortunately, John Millon passed away in 2003, but his contribution to Crocodile Dundee and to Australian entertainment will never be forgotten. His portrayal of Walter Riley remains one of his most beloved roles, a testament to his skill as an actor and his ability to bring charm and heart to every role he took on. Even though his time in the spotlight was relatively brief compared to some of his peers, Millon's impact on the film world, and especially on the Crocodile Dundee franchise, remains lasting and fondly remembered by fans. While Crocodile Dundee was one of his most iconic roles, it was just one of many standout performances in a career that spanned decades. Millon's work in the Australian entertainment industry helped shape the landscape of film and television in the region, and he was widely regarded as a master of both drama and comedy. His versatility allowed him to take on an array of characters, from the lovable Walter Riley to more serious roles that showcased his depth as an actor. His contributions to the film world left an enduring legacy, and his work continues to be appreciated by new generations of viewers. Although John Millon may no longer be with us, his legacy lives on through his work, especially through his unforgettable portrayal of Walter Riley. His easygoing charm, impeccable comedic timing, and ability to bring warmth to his characters ensured that he became a beloved figure in Crocodile Dundee. The film's success was not just about Mick Dundee's wild adventures or the stunning outback scenery, it was also about the relationships and friendships that were built along the way. Walter Riley's friendship with Mick was central to that, and John Millon's performance will always be remembered as a key part of what made Crocodile Dundee such a heartwarming, timeless classic. Fans of the film still fondly recall his character, and his contribution to the film's legacy will never be forgotten. Steve Rackman as Donk next. Let's dive into the character of Donk, played by the charismatic Steve Rackman. Donk, the Aussie tough guy and one of Mick Dundee's fellow adventurers, brought a unique energy to Crocodile Dundee. While he may not have been one of the main protagonists, Donk was a character who left a lasting impression on audiences with his larger-than-life personality and unforgettable moments. With his rugged appearance and distinctive Aussie bravado, Donk added a touch of humor and heart to the film, helping to balance out the action-packed sequences with some much-needed levity. His interactions with Mick and the other characters helped shape the dynamic of the adventure, and his comedic timing made him a memorable part of the movie. What made Donk such a standout character wasn't just his tough guy persona, but the way Rackman infused him with warmth and humor. Donk wasn't a hero in the traditional sense, but he was loyal, funny, and always ready for a laugh. His character had a certain roughness that made him fit perfectly in the world of Crocodile Dundee, but he also had a genuine likability that made him someone the audience could root for. Whether he was supporting Mick in a fight or sharing a joke, Donk was an essential part of the camaraderie that defined the film. Steve Rackman's performance helped give the character depth and personality, and it was this mix of toughness and humor that made Donk so unforgettable. After Crocodile Dundee, Steve Rackman continued his career in both Australian television and film. He became a familiar face in the Australian entertainment scene, taking on roles that showcased his versatility as an actor. His time as Donk had proven his talent for blending tough guy roles with comedic elements, and he continued to capitalize on this strength in his career. One of his notable post-Dundee roles was in The Mummy, 1999, where he appeared alongside Brendan Fraser in a more action-packed, dramatic setting. Rackman's presence in the film as a gruff character was a natural extension of his Donk persona, further cementing his reputation as someone who could play both the tough guy and the comedic sidekick with ease. In addition to The Mummy, Steve Rackman appeared in Fool's Gold, 2008, starring Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson. In this adventure comedy, Rackman's character added some extra flair and charm to the ensemble cast. His performances in both films were a reminder of his knack for playing characters that balanced strength with humor, much like he did in Crocodile Dundee. Though these films didn't reach the same iconic status as Crocodile Dundee, they allowed Rackman to continue building his career, and his roles in these movies highlighted his enduring appeal in the world of action and comedy. Rackman's career has largely been focused on Australian productions, where he has remained a respected and familiar actor. He may not have achieved the same level of international recognition as some of his co-stars from Crocodile Dundee, but he has certainly made a name for himself within the Australian entertainment industry. His roles in local films and TV shows have kept him active in the scene, and his presence continues to be appreciated by Australian audiences. For many, Steve Rackman will always be remembered as Donk, the lovable tough guy who brought heart and humor to one of the most iconic films of the 1980s. Though Rackman may not have reached the same level of fame as some of the other stars of Crocodile Dundee, his contribution to the film and his enduring presence in the entertainment world should not be overlooked. Donk's moments in the film, whether he was sharing a laugh with Mick or facing danger with his usual bravado, remain an integral part of the Crocodile Dundee legacy. Steve Rackman's portrayal of Donk continues to be a highlight of the movie, and his career in Australian television and film has kept his name alive in the hearts of fans. As a part of the Crocodile Dundee cast, Steve Rackman helped bring a unique dynamic to the film. Donk's humor, toughness, and loyalty made him an unforgettable character who added depth to the overall narrative. His work in Australian television and film after Crocodile Dundee has ensured that his legacy remains alive, and while he may not have reached the same level of international fame as some of his co-stars, Steve Rackman's contribution to the film world and his unforgettable portrayal of Donk are sure to remain a part of the Crocodile Dundee legacy for years to come. Abe Forsyth as Richie. Abe Forsyth played Richie, the eager, wide-eyed Australian sidekick who got caught up in the unpredictable adventures of Mick Dundee. Richie's character was not as prominent as some of the more central figures in Crocodile Dundee, but his role was crucial in adding a quirky and lighthearted dynamic to the film. His youthful enthusiasm and natural charm made him an instant favorite with audiences, and his interactions with Mick and Sue brought a sense of comedic relief and innocence to the otherwise action-packed story. Richie's character was the embodiment of the everyday Australian, full of optimism and unafraid to get involved in Mick's wild, often dangerous escapades. While Richie wasn't involved in the film's major storylines, his presence provided a nice contrast to the more serious or rugged characters, giving Crocodile Dundee a well-rounded ensemble cast. Forsyth's ability to play Richie as both earnest and endearing helped to humanize the film and made it more relatable for audiences. His character was often caught between admiration for Mick's larger-than-life persona and the reality of the dangerous situations they found themselves in, creating a perfect foil for Mick's more seasoned approach to adventure. Abe Forsyth's portrayal of Richie may have been lighthearted, but it added a significant charm and humor that helped make the film memorable for viewers. Following his role as Richie, Abe Forsyth's career in the entertainment industry continued to grow. Although his post-Crocodile Dundee acting career never reached the same level of fame as his time in the film, Forsyth successfully transitioned into other roles within the industry. He became a notable figure in Australian television and film, earning recognition for his diverse talents. Forsyth appeared in a number of Australian productions, including films like The Mule, 2014, which he both directed and starred in. The film was well received and showcased his talent not only as an actor, but also as a director, marking a major step in his career beyond acting. In addition to The Mule, Forsyth also worked on a variety of other projects, contributing his skills behind the camera as well as in front of it. He directed several films and television series, honing his craft in the world of filmmaking. Forsyth's shift to directing allowed him to take creative control of his projects, which led to opportunities to explore different genres and work with a wide range of actors. His growth as a filmmaker demonstrated his versatility and deep passion for storytelling, which only further solidified his place in the entertainment industry. Though Forsyth's career didn't reach the same level of international recognition as some of the other Crocodile Dundee cast members, his role as Richie remains a defining part of his legacy in the film. His charm and likability as the enthusiastic, lovable sidekick were essential to the film's success, and fans continue to remember his portrayal of Richie fondly. The character, though secondary in the narrative, resonated with audiences for his authenticity and his ability to bring humor to the film's adventurous spirit. Forsyth's enduring popularity as Richie shows the lasting impact of his performance, even if it wasn't the central role in the film. Beyond acting, Forsyth's continued success in the industry reflects his dedication to his craft. He didn't simply rest on his early success in Crocodile Dundee, but used that momentum to push forward and explore new creative avenues. Whether working as a director, actor, or producer, Forsyth has established a steady career in both Australian and international projects. His work on films like The Mule demonstrates that Forsyth's talents extend far beyond the quirky sidekick role he played in Crocodile Dundee. For many, Abe Forsyth will always be remembered as Richie, the fun-loving, enthusiastic sidekick who brought a dose of youthful energy and humor to Crocodile Dundee. While his career may not have achieved the same level of fame as some of his co-stars, Forsyth's lasting impact on the film and the charm of his character have cemented his place in Crocodile Dundee history. His ability to continue evolving as an actor and director has ensured that his career remains active and respected, and his work continues to contribute to the vibrant world of Australian cinema. The legacy and behind-the-scenes magic of Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile Dundee became an unexpected cultural phenomenon upon its release, leaving a legacy that has endured long beyond its 1986 debut. The film introduced the world to Mick Dundee, a character whose blend of rugged charm, wit, and toughness captured the spirit of the Australian outback while appealing to global audiences. What started as a modest Australian production quickly became a box office hit, grossing over $328 million worldwide and becoming the highest-grossing film of 1986. Behind the scenes, much of the film's success can be attributed to Paul Hogan, who not only played the iconic role of Mick Dundee, but also co-wrote the screenplay and served as an executive producer. Hogan drew from his own experiences growing up in Australia, giving the character a sense of authenticity that resonated with audiences. This deep connection to the role added to the character's relatability and charm. The film's director, Peter Feynman, worked closely with Hogan to ensure the film's adventurous spirit was matched by a sense of humor and heart. Despite its international success, Crocodile Dundee was shot on a relatively low budget, and much of the film's charm comes from its simplicity and the natural beauty of the Australian landscapes that served as the backdrop for the story. Many of the iconic moments in the film, such as the famous "That's not a knife, that's a knife" scene, were completely improvised, showcasing Hogan's natural comedic timing and ability to bring spontaneity to the role. These unscripted moments became pivotal in solidifying the film's memorable appeal, capturing the essence of Mick Dundee's larger-than-life personality. Crocodile Dundee also played a significant role in bringing Australian cinema to the international stage, at a time when Hollywood productions dominated the global film industry. The film's humor and action-packed adventure struck a chord with audiences worldwide, and its success helped pave the way for more Australian talent to be recognized on the global stage. Behind the scenes, the cast and crew worked with a sense of camaraderie and authenticity that matched the down-to-earth vibe of the film itself. Despite its commercial success, the production team remained humble and grounded, and the cast often reflected on the sense of fun and community that permeated the set. Though the film is known for its adventure, action, and comedy, Crocodile Dundee also has a lasting impact on how Australian culture is viewed globally. It introduced the idea of the outback hero to the world, and Mick Dundee became a symbol of Australian resilience, wit, and charm. Over time, the film's catchphrases, unforgettable characters, and lighthearted nature have made it a beloved classic that continues to inspire both nostalgia and admiration. Even decades later, the impact of Crocodile Dundee is still felt, with its iconic status cementing it as one of the most memorable films of the 1980s. The legacy of Mick Dundee, as played by Paul Hogan, endures through the generations, and the behind-the-scenes stories serve as a reminder of the unique, organic nature of the film that made it such a worldwide success. As we close this chapter on Crocodile Dundee and reflect on the unforgettable journey of its cast, it's clear that this beloved film has cemented its place in cinematic history. From the moment Paul Hogan first graced the screen as the rugged, charming Mick Dundee, audiences were hooked. Hogan's portrayal of this iconic adventurer catapulted him to international stardom, making Crocodile Dundee a worldwide sensation. Alongside him, Linda Kozlowski's strong and independent Sue Charlton, John Millen's endearing Walter Riley, and the rest of the talented cast brought their characters to life in a way that turned this adventure comedy into something far greater than just another 80s movie. Crocodile Dundee was a perfect storm of humor, heart, and adventure that resonated with fans across the globe, and the performances of these actors played a huge part in that success. It's not just the memorable characters or the iconic quotes that have kept Crocodile Dundee in the hearts of movie lovers for decades. It's the legacy of these performers and their roles in making the film timeless. While the actors have gone on to take on a variety of roles and continue to build their careers, it's clear that Crocodile Dundee will always be the film that defined them for many fans. Whether it's Paul Hogan's return as Mick Dundee in the sequels, Linda Kozlowski's impressive portrayal of the fearless Sue, or John Millen's unforgettable Walter Riley, each actor brought something special to the table. Even those with smaller roles, like Steve Rackman and Abe Forsyth, left a lasting impression, adding humor and warmth to this unforgettable adventure. The bond between the cast members, both on and off screen, is one of the things that made Crocodile Dundee such an enduring success. Beyond the performances, there's also something incredibly special about the behind-the-scenes stories that brought this iconic film to life. From filming on location in the rugged Australian outback to capturing the perfect balance of comedy and adventure, Crocodile Dundee was a labor of love that took both dedication and creative vision. It wasn't just a film, it was a cultural moment, one that brought the wild beauty of Australia to the world stage and made audiences fall in love with the land down under. As we've seen today, the legacy of Crocodile Dundee is not just about the success of the film itself, but the impact it had on its stars, who have continued to thrive in their careers, even if they never quite reached the same level of fame as they did with this iconic role. Thank you for taking this walk down memory lane with us. We hope you enjoyed revisiting the cast of Crocodile Dundee and seeing where they are now. It's always a joy to look back at these iconic films and the talented people who made them so special. So, let us know in the comments below. What's your favorite moment from Crocodile Dundee? Who was your favorite character, and why do you think this film continues to hold such a special place in our hearts? We can't wait to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Celebrities Paradise, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another trip down memory lane. We have more exciting content coming your way, from behind-the-scenes stories to where your favorite stars are now. Thanks for being part of our journey, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep celebrating the legends of film with us here at Celebrities Paradise.